I'm Rebecca, here at White Mermaids, and today I decided to show you all the series that I'm currently right smack dab in the middle of reading. I'm not going to include the series that I am caught up with, like the ones where all of the books have come out so far. All the ones that have come out I've read. Like, A Song of Ice and Fire has 5 books out of 7, but I've read those 5, so I'm not including that in here. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. And also, I'm not including series that I am not finishing, that I'm just done with. So if you want to see either of those, let me know, and I'll perhaps do them in the future. But today is just series that I am currently right in the middle of reading. There are books out that I have not caught up to reading yet, or book series that are done, and I never finished them. So I decided to go along with those. I'm also not including any, like, super of the long-winded, like Sookie Stackhouse, which I only read 1 book of, or any like detective-y ones where there could be a million. So I'm not including those either. But let's just get going. I have a couple that I don't have physical copies of, so let me get those out of the way first, and then I will show you all the other ones. So the first one today is the Heroes of Olympus series. It's the sequel spin-off series to Percy Jackson. I read the first 3 or 2, I think. It's been a long time, so I should probably just start over again at the beginning, but I have already started it, even though I don't remember it. So that is the first series in here, and I will eventually get to it. The next one is the Magicians trilogy by Lev Grossman. I read The Magicians, the very first one, and it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. Some people really, really, really love it. I will continue doing it. Continue reading them. I believe all 3 books are out. I just need to pick up the last 2. Along with that is the All Souls trilogy. I have read the first 2. I forget who it's by, but it's here. I've read the first 2 books in that trilogy. I didn't love it, but I really want to know what's going to happen, and there's only 1 book left, so I'm going to give that one a go fairly soon. I'm hoping, maybe, kind of, sort of. Next up is the Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, Isla and the Happily Ever kind of thing where they all go together. It's not really a series, but I'm gonna count it because all the books are companion novels, and I have only read Anna and the French Kiss, but I am looking forward to picking up Lola and the Boy Next Door fairly soon. And the other one is the Maze Runner. I've only read the first book in the Maze Runner series. I've heard mixed things about the later ones, but I kind of want to find out what happens before the movie comes out. So I probably will eventually get to those as well. And now on to the books that I actually have books for. So the first one is The Giver Quartet by Lois Lowry. I've only read The Giver. I read this one when I was super young, and I loved this book, like, amazingly. And so I didn't want to pick up the other ones because I was kind of worried that it would ruin this for me, and I liked how the ending was ambiguous, and I didn't necessarily want to know what happened. So I haven't picked them up because of that, but I feel like because I love this one so much, I really should find out what happens and eventually give those a go. Next up is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. This has a decent amount of books in the series. I'm not really sure how many. Every time I try to look it up, I get overwhelmed. But I really enjoyed this first book. This is the only one that I've read, and I really did enjoy it, so I want to continue on in that world and getting to know them a little bit more. Next up is Interworld by Neil Gaiman and Michael Reeves. This was my pick for April for my year of Gaiman. The May pick is the sequel to this, which is The Silver Dream, which I should be reading probably next week or so, or this week, because I have to do it before May's over. And then next month is Eternity's Wheel, and that's the 3rd book, so we'll have finished that one soon, but at the moment I've only read this one. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson is the next book series, or book that I've read. This is the Millennium Trilogy, and again, this is the only one that I've read from that trilogy. I did really enjoy it though, and I have the 2nd book over there in my bookshelf. I just haven't read it yet, and it's been a couple years, so I should probably get on that. Next up is The Rosie Project by Graham Simsian. I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. I need to look it up, and I didn't, and I forgot. Anyway, this is The Rosie Project. I don't know how many books are gonna be in this kind of series, but the 2nd one, The Rosie Effect, just came out, so I don't know if it's just a duology or what, but I am including this one as well. Next up is The Shadow of the Wind, which is the first book in the Cemetery of Forgotten Books series. I think it's a trilogy. The books are more companion novels than they are the same characters over and over again, but I really liked this one, and so I wanted to continue on with that series, and so I'm including it in here as well. The Wicked Years by Gregory Maguire is up next, and this is Wicked, the very first book in that. I think there's 4 books in there now, and I have read Wicked and I've read Son of Oz, but I have not yet read A Lion Among Men or the final one, which the dog just barked. The final one, I think it's called Out of Oz. The next one I'm going to show you is Cinder, which is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. And of that book series, there are 3 currently out. There's also a novella out, and then the 4th book, Winter, is coming out in the winter, I think. But the only one I've read of this entire series is Cinder, and I really need to get on Scarlet. I've been meaning to pick it up for the last few months since I finished Cinder, and I just haven't done it yet. I also need to pick up the 2nd book in the Raven cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. I have read The Raven Boys. It was okay, it wasn't my favorite, but I was intrigued enough to want to know more, so I will pick up the next ones in the series. I am participating in the Mortal Read-Along on Goodreads, and so I am reading The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. I have read, so far, City of Bones and City of Ashes, and this month I should be reading City of Glass, and then the next 3 months I'll be reading the next 3 books after that, and hopefully finishing this out by the end of the year. Earlier this year, I read The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau. This was not my favorite. It was too much like The Hunger Games, but I wanted to give the 2nd book a chance to see if it deviated a little bit from that, and I wanted to kind of see what the cliffhanger was all about. So I will continue on it, but if I hate the 2nd book, then I probably will not finish it. Last month, I read Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, so this is the first book in that series. I believe there are going to be 6 in the series so far. There are 3 out. I have those 3, but I have only read this one, so yes. And finally, the last book I'm going to show you today, I just finished like 2 days ago, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. First one in the Throne of Glass series, and I think there are going to be 6 in here as well. I don't really know these things. I don't know. I enjoyed it enough that I want to continue on. I don't think I loved it as much as like everybody raves about it, but I did really enjoy it, so I will be continuing this series. Well, I have a lot of reading to do because I am in the middle of all of those, and there's at least 2 more books in each one of those series probably to read, so yeah. Let me know down in the comments below what series you're in the middle of reading, how many you're reading. I'm reading like I think it's like 19 series that I'm in the middle of. Like, that's insane. That's insane. And that's not even counting the ones that I'm caught up with. That would be like another 10. So anyway, let me know if you do want to see any more about the series I'm not going to finish and the book series that I'm caught up on. But other than that, that's it for me today. I guess I will see you next time.